Thank you. I am truly honored to be named Burke's Distinguished Alumna. Over the years, I've admired so many of the other honorees, accomplished women who have inspired me with their leadership and their words. I remember many of them as Burke's girls. Often girls who were older than me and who I looked up to. Girls who were popular, smart, athletic, creative. The girls who you knew were gonna be successful, were gonna be somebody someday. Well, I can tell you how surprised I was when I got the letter this year letting me know that I was chosen. I wish I could tell you that I was one of those girls, but let me paint you a very different picture of my reality. After kindergarten at Burke's, we moved to Hong Kong for a few years and I returned back for 5th grade. I was an outsider and I experienced a bit of major culture shock when I came back. I wore my socks pulled up because that's what it said to do in the handbook, but nobody told me that there was an unspoken social rule stating how uncool that was, so first day of school, strike one. I certainly wasn't the smartest in class and got a fair share of B's, and I returned to 5th grade with braces, and at times, the neck gear. And wait, it gets worse. At the beginning of 6th grade, I was diagnosed with severe triple curve scoliosis, a curvature of the spine. As a result, I had to wear a rigid body brace made of thick, hard plastic from underarm to hip, 23 hours a day for the next 6 years. In addition to being uncomfortable and limiting my mobility, the brace caused my muscles to atrophy, so needless to say, I wasn't much of an athlete either. Well, you can imagine the joy I felt when I turned 18 and was about to go off to college and was told I could finally live free of that brace. Instead of being traumatized, shy, and quiet, I felt like a butterfly emerging from this tight, rigid cocoon. And I'd learned so much about myself and, interestingly, about others. Now, I'm not going to sugarcoat it and say that everyone treated me with kindness and respect during those years, because there were definitely kids, and who can blame kids for just being kids, those who made fun and hurt my feelings. But at a place like Burke's, I felt so fortunate that there were also amazing people, true friends, wonderful teachers, and a supportive community that never let me feel like I was different from anyone else. And while I was never super smart, pretty, or athletic in my youth, I was accepted. And that allowed me to grow up surprisingly confident. And I learned very quickly to stop caring what anyone thought, and that it was okay to be different, and it was possible to overcome difficult things. Burke's mission is to educate, encourage, and empower girls. They did just that for me, and I felt armed and ready to take on the world. Today, I have 3 little girls. The younger ones are still in that glorious phase of life where they're too innocent to care what other people think. And I want to preserve that so much for them. They still have the ability to look at the world with a fresh set of eyes and not be held back by those ideas and beliefs that all of us have somehow accepted as the way things are. Just the other day, I asked my kids what they wanted for breakfast. One of them quickly replied, "Ice cream." I laughed and said, "No, you can't have ice cream, silly. Now what do you want for breakfast?" And my very inquisitive 5-year-old snapped right back, "Why not?" Because that's not the way it works. People don't eat ice cream for breakfast. Why not? Well, because you have to eat something healthy for breakfast to start your day. Why can't I just eat ice cream now and eat something healthy later? Why does it have to be in that order? Just because. Because why? Because I said so. She says, that is not a very good answer. And you know what? She's absolutely right. Just because, and because that's just the way it works, is not a very good answer. And this has always been my outlook and point of view that has led to success in my own career. Since the first day I was exposed to the legal world, I've scratched my head and continue to ask why it operates the way it does. And I've challenged every aspect of it, asking why, and not accepting the fact that it's just always been done this way. And I've made great strides in this area in forcing it to change. And as a result, I'm often called innovative and disruptive. 2 words I really don't understand, because to me, innovative and disruptive just means taking something that currently exists and doing it a little differently. I don't think I've done anything to warrant recognition. I've simply tried to fix things that I think are broken. And I've always admired those people who learn about something they feel is broken and become so fixated on it that it becomes their passion in finding a solution. Take this teenage boy. He heard about this floating island of plastic garbage in the ocean. It's now the size of Texas. And people said, there's nothing we can do about this. We can only work together to prevent it from getting worse. Well, he didn't find this to be a very acceptable point of view. And now he's created a machine that is going to get rid of 50% of that in just 5 years. So it simply takes someone with a little bit of initiative and a little bit of courage to make something happen. And be forewarned, they will call you crazy, and they will call you rebellious. But who cares what they say? Because you should know that if you have passion and persistence, anything is possible. And they'll be calling you innovative and disruptive in no time. So my advice to you is this: always question everything. Keep asking why. Just because there are a lot of people that think one thing doesn't mean they're right. Be confident in your own opinion, and who cares what people think? Go out there, change the world, and why not? Have some ice cream for breakfast. Thank you.